Hello, teacher. I'm talking about my lesson plan number 5. The topic is first and second conditional sentences. I designed for grade first baccalaureate of 8th basic education. Duration of the class is 45 minutes. The proficiency level is elementary A2.2. The Common European Framework of Reference for Language CEFR is an international standard for describing language ability. The objectives during this lesson, students will be able to, for listening, will be able to identify the following instruction. For speaking, will be able to learn the pronunciation, first and second conditional sentences. For reading, we'll be able to understand when use the first and second conditional sentences. For writing, we will be able to construct their own sentences using the correct structure about first and second conditional sentences. Methodology, I use communicative language teaching, CLT, or communicative approach. Is an approach to language teaching that emphasizes interaction as both the means and the ultimate goal of a study. Also, communicative language teaching sets as its goal the teaching of communicative competence. What does this term mean? Perhaps we can clarify this term by first comparing with the concept of grammatical competence. Grammatical competence refers to the knowledge we have of language that accounts for our ability to produce sentences in a language. Additionally, I use free voluntary reading. It's a powerful tool for involving students in the reading of English text. The strategy I use visual can be used effectively at all grade levels and across curricular areas. In my case, the PowerPoint presentation. And pair and work, communicative activities. For anticipatory set, I showed a poster about a history, and the student needs to describe and write on the notebook the people, wishes, place, magical or mythical characters. For example, a princess, a castle, a dragon, a giant, gold, or a magical tree, etc. Main teaching input. Grade the students. After that, discuss in the class the picture, and the students can become familiar with the new vocabulary. First, I show my PowerPoint presentation when the students are very clear about the topic. For example, the first and second conditional can both be used to describe the future. First conditional. First conditional is a structure used for talking about possibilities in the present or in the future. How to form a complex sentences with the first conditional. If clauses, main clause. If plus subject plus verb in the present tense. For main clauses, subject plus will plus verb. If the weather is nice, we will go swimming. If you study hard, you will pass the test. In second conditional, the second conditional expresses unreal situation in the present or future. A second conditional sentence consists of two clauses, an if clause and main clause. How to form a complex sentence with the second conditional if clause. If plus subject plus verb in the past simple tense. Main sentence, subject plus goal plus verb. If I had £1 million, I would buy a big yacht. English student book, the students can look up the words below in your dictionary, then number them based on the picture. In this case, I use the dictionary because the students need know the meaning of the new vocabulary. Classify and complete the chart. Complete the sentences. English word book. Practice different exercises on the book about the structure of conditional sentences. For clarification, check the answer with the students. Using more example in PowerPoint presentation, I need to use conditional sentences. For modeling, the teacher show more examples and the students can practice the conditional sentences. For guided practice, students in pairs develop an activity which is about completion of the story of the book. They need to select 2 topics, eating, and discuss the best possible results on the notebook. The teacher walks around the class to monitor the activity. At the end of it, they read along your end of the story. For independent practice, students create a new version of the story. They need to use the conditional sentences. For example, one day the man saw the magical tree and thought, if I cut down this tree, I will make some good money. If I make good money, I will get my wife a new dress. But then man noticed that the tree was very thick, so he thought if he could cut it down. However, he kept thinking about the money. If I could cut it down, I would not have to work for a long time, etc. Assessment. Students read aloud the new version of the fantasy story in front of the class. In this form, practice the good pronunciation. Closing review or following up. It is necessary more time is needed so all the students can talk about their story in front of the class. This lesson have advantage because the students can work in pairs and have the opportunity to speak to each other in English. This maximizes their talking time and minimizes the teacher's talking. Also, brainstorming ideas and practicing more language. In negative aspect, when we use the work in pairs in the class, it's less likely that pupils will receive negative feedback correction. I found I can set up a task with the instruction to negative feedback to each other. There is no guarantee this will occur. Thank you.